Good stuff, Chris. Okay, timekeeper at the bell, Chris Anderson Jr. Our officials appointed for this bout on the 10-point must system. Judges, Ignatius Miscellatus, Peter Flaherty, Diamond Dale Westerman. When the bell tolls for the first of 8 rounds of International Women's Super Bantamweight Boxing, your referee in charge of the action is Mr. Brett McCormick. Analysing the numbers, Mr. Noel Sharp and Nancy Byfera. Charlie Niparata, Ringside Promotions, Bad Blood, Calabria Stadium, Friday, 2010. Here we go. 8 rounds of International Women's Super Bantamweight Boxing. A return match from 2007. Introducing first on my right, in professional boxing, 12 fights, 5 wins, 7 losses, 2 inside the distance. But don't be fooled, she's met some of the best boxers in Australia, including former world champion Sharon Onyos, hotshot Perth fighter Erin McGowan, and their own Susie Ramadan. Tipping the scales last night at Doherty's Gym, Brunswick, 53.40 kilograms, wearing mainly pink trunks with a touch of blue. Would you welcome Thailand's Ploysuay Sakrungruang. And across the ring in the red corner, Ben Brizzy Sr., Ronnie Marasco, Cos Brizzy, Julie Ramadan and all the team from Kingsbury, Preston. Ladies and gentlemen, the most decorated female boxer in Australasia. Turned professional December 7, 2007. Since then, 15 professional fights, 15 wins, 6 inside the distance. Ladies and gentlemen, she's fought 12 international opponents along the way to winning the Australian Women's Bantamweight Championship, the OPBF Bantamweight Championship, the WBF Bantamweight and Super Bantamweight Championships of the world. On the brink of unifying WBF, WBA, WBC and IBF. Ladies and gentlemen, 54.30 kilograms. She's the golden girl of Aussie boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome Susie Ramadan. Wearing lime green trunks with a touch of black. Brett McCormick to give referees instructions. 8 rounds, International Women's Boxing.
Okay, I gave you identical instructions in the dressing room. You know what I command.
Welcome to the Reggio Calabria Club in Brunswick in the northern suburbs of Melbourne. The date is August 13, 2010. You're watching Fight 1 of the Bad Blood Fight Night, brought to you by Charlie Niparata and Doherty's Gym. I'm Patrick Skeening. Joining me as co-host tonight is SEN Radio's Troy Zantuck. How are you doing, Troy?
Fantastic, Patrick, and looking forward to a tremendous night of fight. A boxing extravaganza at the Reggio Calabria Club.
Susie Ramadan in the black trunks with aqua colours, and Ploysuay Sakrungruang is in the pink trunks with blue trim, and Susie Ramadan 15-0, Ploysuay 5-7, and these guys have met before in 2007, and Susie won on points over 4 rounds, so it's a rematch.
And Ramadan, age 31, and Sakrungruang 28, so a 3-year differential there.
And this will really show where Susie is at the moment. And we have 8 by 2-minute rounds. It was a 4-rounder before, so this will be a good gauge on Susie Ramadan's evolution as she moves towards a world title shot.
And Susie trains at the world-famous Brizzy Brothers Gym in Preston. She resides in Reservoir in the northern suburbs of Melbourne. Her trainer is Ben Brizzy, and in her corner is Cos Brizzy.
And she's one of the new breed of women's boxers coming through with great athleticism, balance. She's got movement. She's a former soccer player, great athlete, and really being mentored well by the Brizzy brothers. And what we're looking for here in the scoring is clean punching, effective aggression, ring generalship and defence. And Susie's got all those in spades. Interesting to see how far Ploysuay's come since they fought in 2007 as well.
Yeah, Ramadan, a seasoned performer, very clean with her punches, Susie Q. Tremendous footwork going downstairs there, and a big right hand.
And Susie Ramadan knocks Ploysuay down with a big right hook. Ploysuay took a risk as Susie Ramadan retires to the neutral corner, displaying some power, and she's really coming on. That was a beautiful shot, Troy.
Magnificent. She really left herself wide open there.
And seemed to teeter backwards. Excellent start for Susie Q in round 1.
Going downstairs, working the body, and then coming upstairs and tickling the temples.
And Ploysuay could do with tying her up or trying to change the distance here, because Susie Q really benefiting from a lot of recent fights. And let's not rule out Ploysuay, but excellent round. 10-8 round for Susie Q.
Now this Sunday, Melbourne Health and Fitness. 2 p.m. start. Seconds out as we approach round 2.
Wipe this up, Ross.
Round
Wipe
2
this up.
underway in just a moment.
Stay there.
Round 2, Susie Ramadan versus Ploysuay Sakrungruang, and Susie Ramadan landed a big right hook and put Sakrungruang on the ground. In their last time they fought in 2007, that didn't happen. Troy, what do we make out of that?
Well, you've got to look at the way Ramadan, she's a great technician, is Susie Q. She goes downstairs, softens it up a bit, and then comes back up, and as I said, tickles the temples, and she did it an absolute treat in round 1.
And Sakrungruang changing tactics now, moving to plan B as she goes southpaw, and it doesn't stop the onslaught of Susie Q, who's looking very, very sharp tonight.
There's some great scoring punches to the solar plexus and a big left hand there by Susie Q.
And Ploysuay, is her right hand is her big punch, and that's the same right hand that decked Sharon Anyos, first Australian world champion, when they fought. But Susie Q looks to have her measure early, and we're going to have to see what
Don't pull on the back of the head.
Ploysuay's got, because it's going for 8 rounds, it's double what they fought last time.
Yeah, it's a real test of endurance, this one.
Good movement from Susie Q, great footwork, good hand speed. She goes under Ploysuay's right hook there, and that's her money punch. And if Susie Q would take that away, she should be able to dictate terms on this fight. A good uppercut there by Susie Q, and left rip to the body, showing the full arsenal of punches here as Ploysuay lands an overhand right. So a good exchange. Susie not getting it all her own way, but looking very crisp and efficient here in round 2.
Absolutely, Patrick. Those left and right rips to the body, tremendous. Susie Q really finding her range.
And we're told that this Susie Q will be looking to step it up with a big overseas fighter should she win this fight. So a lot on the line here against the time.
High stakes fight, absolutely.
And an excellent gauge of where she's at. And if she can stop Ploysuay, she's really come a long way in developing the power that she's going to need when she steps up in the big fights overseas.
Noticing Ploysuay puts her hands down on occasions, and that leaves her open for those big right-hand cross from Susie Q Ramadan.
And Ploysuay's looking to land a big straight right of her own, but not having any impact on it. Really love how Susie Q's doing some great body work, landing 3 or 4 punch combinations as Ploysuay lands over the top. Another round to Susie Q.
Susie Q and Ploysuay from Bangkok.
Let's go.
Round 3, Susie Ramadan, Ploysuay Sakrungruang, and Susie Ramadan getting the best of the first 2 rounds, but not having it all her own way. Sakrungruang landing a couple of good shots, but you'd have to convincingly give that second round to Susie Q.
Yeah, most definitely, Patrick. And what do you think Mr. Tassin knew he would have had to say in between that round to his charge?
Well, you would be saying, be a moving target. She's getting the better of you. Get inside her, try and rough her up on the inside. Don't let her get a distance where she can show her full array of punches, because she really is compact. She's got great defense. And just taking it in tight, tying her opponent up, and trying a plan C now. We saw her go southpaw in the last round, Sakrungruang, and it didn't work. Susie getting the better of things, but I'm really loving the power that Susie Q is displaying tonight.
And also the execution of Susie Q's punches have been tremendous. Actually textbook, I would say.
And last time out, we saw Susie Q. She pitched a shutout on all the judges' cards on a 10-rounder versus the game Kenyan Jane Cavallani at Coburg in July. So she's keeping busy, which is good, as she lands a 3-punch combination there using the left. She's got a good jab. Really, she's got good ring awareness, Susie. I like
Absolutely.
that. Moves her opponent around the window. Lands another
big left hand there by Susie Q Ramadan.
And Ploysuay showing great chin, part of the proud Thai fighting tradition. And she's not going to go down without a fight. Tonight is the time.
No, but she does have a habit of putting her hands away from her face.
And she's being punished for it. She's trying to take a risk and drop her hands and get off. And Susie getting the better of things. They move it to the ropes. Susie landing 4 or 5 punch combinations. Ploysuay trying to get... Don't think it's in her best interest to be in the corner with Susie right now.
No, as you said, Patrick, at the start of the round, she's got to be a moving target. And she's too stationary at the moment, and she's allowing Ramadan to zero in.
Timing, power, good combination. Susie Q.
Yeah, lovely left hand by Susie Q Ramadan. It rocked Ploysuay.
And Ploysuay throwing a wild right over the top now, and it's looking a strong round again for Susie Q. I think Susie would be really happy trying to finish this early tonight, and another round goes to Ramadan.
Let's go.
Round 4 of the Susie Ramadan Ploysuay Sakrungruang fight here. Fight 1 of the Bad Blood fight card, and Susie Ramadan having it all her own way and putting on a clinic here for the standing room only house at the Reggio Calabria. Troy, she's looking the goods.
Oh, tremendous evasive skills too. You've got to take your hat off to Susie Ramadan. She's not only throwing punches, but she's evading them, and she's doing a tremendous job.
Great experience in the corner from the Brizzy brothers, who have a lot of amateur fights here at the Reggio Calabria Club. So it's a coming home of sorts for the Brizzy brothers, and their prodigy Susie Q is putting on a great display of all-round boxing. Great movements, good angles. Getting caught a couple of times, and you're going to get caught.
Absolutely. You throw that many punches, Patrick, you're going to get caught occasionally.
But her aggression's fantastic. Good, clean punches and a ring generalship.
Beautiful combination there by Susie Q Ramadan.
And more power getting in her jab as well. It's become a bit of an offensive weapon, whereas before it's been a bit of a range fighter. So she's really maturing as a boxer before our eyes is Susie Q.
Oh, and she's gone after Ploysuay with a right and left-hand combination that rocked. And another big right hand.
And Ploysuay standing on the ropes, trying to trade there, and Susie getting it all her own way. Another great straight right from Susie Q. 2 or 3 punches in that exchange. Great combinations. It's an onslaught here in round 4. And Ploysuay's trying to land a big Hail Mary punch there and tying Susie Q up, and she's going to need to do more of that.
Okay, let's go.
Susie Q controlling things from the outside. She's out-skilling, and it doesn't matter about the quality of opposition. You've still got to get them away, and it'd be good for Susie Q to have a knockout on her record to confirm the power she's showing here tonight. Excellent display so far.
Tremendous power punching display by Susie Q Ramadan. And there's another left hand and another right. And how's Ploysuay staying on her feet? That's the question.
And she's showing great durability as Ploysuay, taking shots to the body left and right as Susie Q moves forward, relentlessly trying to close the gap. Another big round for Susie Q.
Clean the corner again, boss.
Round 5, Susie Ramadan, Ploysuay Sakrungruang, and it's all Susie Ramadan right now as the very game. Sakrungruang is looking in the pink shorts, looking to find an answer to the onslaught of Susie Q. Is showing her full arsenal, inside out, moving away, great combinations to the body and going straight to the head with the hammer straight right, which Ploysuay has worn all night. And something is going to have to change here in Ploysuy's strategy, because inside or outside, on the ropes, counter-punching or lead, it's all Susie Q.
Absolutely, but also, Patrick, the durability, you've got to take your hat off to Ploysuay, because she's been hit with a barrage of body shots and head shots.
No questioning her heart and her chin. She looks in good shape, but when she gets caught in an exchange of straight rights, Susie's natural reach and size is getting the better of those exchanges, and Ploysuay would really serve here to be a moving target. Put on ice, trying to land that big overhand right for a moment, because every time she takes the risk, she's getting caught now.
And also, Patrick, for the viewers at home, tremendous footwork shown by Susie Q. It has been an absolute clinic today.
Yeah, you'll see a set of skills here, the equal of any woman's skills you're going to see in the world as far as footwork, and she's just a developing boxer, loves her craft, loves her sport, and just really doing great things under the tutelage of the Brizzy brothers.
In tremendous hands with the Brizzy brothers, make no mistake about it. Susie Q Ramadan
just landing shots at will here. And Ploysuy's tried different things. She's tried to rough up on the inside. She's moved it to the rope. She's gone southpaw. There's nothing she really has in her arsenal that can deal with a committed and fiercely aggressive Susie Q tonight. She's come out just looking to land her punches, try the new things she's learned in training. Big uppercut there landed right on the head of Ploysuay. And Ploysuay again trying to land her money punch, the overhand right, but copping a couple, trying to get on the inside. And none of the strategy she's applying so far. Another big round, Susie Q.
Let's go.
Round 6, bantamweight fight, Susie Ramadan in the black and aqua trunks versus Ploysuay Sakrungruang from Thailand in the pink. All Susie Q so far in the fight, Troy. I've got it 5 rounds to 0 with the knockdown in the first, making that a 10-8 round.
Could not agree with you more, Patrick. Susie Q Ramadan, athleticism, balance and movement. This girl has got it all.
And you've got to give it to Ploysuay. She's coming out like a bull. She's not flinching here. She's taking some big shots, and she's still trying to land that overhand right that knocked the great Sharon Anyos down, our first ever world champion. And there she tries to land it again, but takes some punishment from Susie Q. Peppering Ploysuay with long-range combinations all night, both hands.
Absolutely, Patrick, but you've got to be happy if you're in Susie Q's camp, the strategy that she's used tonight, it's been a game of patience. She's been very patient. She hasn't gone in for the overnight slobber knocker. It's been a tremendous boxing bout, a tremendous, her technique's been absolutely first class.
A flawless display so far from Susie Q, and she knows her opponent has power, and she's in and out, and she's getting away outside the punching zone as Ploysuay tries to land a left hook, but to no avail through Susie Q's watertight defence.
Most of those punches, Patrick, have been taken on the gloves of Susie Q, and they really haven't presented, you know, what we thought could be a problem with the big right hand of Ploysuay, and another right hand there.
Well, her snappy jab, brilliant jab is setting up. Susie Q lands 3 or 4 in a row and getting some great combinations.
Lightning hands of Susie Q.
Compact, lateral movement, snappy jabs, big power punches, and most of the power punches connecting cleanly. And that uppercut really is developing as her money punch. Fantastic to see.
Let's go.
Putting on an absolute clinic, a tremendous first fight at the Reggio Calabria Club tonight in what promises to be a tremendous night of boxing.
And she's fighting a good fight and a smart fight. Landing her shots and not getting caught. All Susie Q. Round 7 of 8 at bantamweight. It's all Susie Q Ramadan against Ploysuay Sakrungruang as Susie Q comes out again hard and strong and takes a weakening left hook there from Ploysuay. It's been watertight defence up tonight. No major shots have landed, and Susie Q is putting on a clinic for the fans here at Reggio Calabria. Troy, we've seen great improvement in Susie Q, haven't we?
Look at the body punches from Susie Q Ramadan.
4 and 5 connecting cleanly, and going upstairs and going to the body. A lot to like.
It's like a British sitcom, upstairs, downstairs, Ramadan putting on an absolute clinic. What do you think Mr. Tassanui had to say? His words of wisdom in the corner.
Well, just try and land that right. Get up on your toes, start dancing, and just don't make yourself a stationary target here, because Susie Q will make you pay on the inside or out. She's got you at a distance and she's got you in tight. I'd be turning into a bit of an alley war right now.
Yeah, I think
roughing it up, breaking the momentum, because Susie Q's having it her own way.
I think you're onto something there, Patrick. Mr. Tassanui barking the orders.
Peppery long-range combinations that have been an absolute privilege, but we can't really take anything away from Ploysuay. All heart, and she doesn't want to get a stoppage on her record. She's fought in Korea, she's fought in Japan, she's fought in all over, and she's game.
She's running out of petrol at the moment. Fatigue starting to set in with Ploysuay, and the arms are coming down. The defence is depleted. Ramadan zeroing in for the kill.
Really having it all her own way here. Ploysuay starting to do it on memory here in round 7. She's looking to make the final bell for the 8th round, and Susie's looking to get a good stoppage on her record, to let everybody know her power and combination and timing is all coming together.
Yeah, you just feel that Susie would absolutely love that on her record, because she's fought an absolute... well, as we keep saying, she's putting on a clinic for the fight fans at the Reggio Calabria Club in Brunswick.
Okay, round 7, thank you. Thank you, Rob. Collingwood lead Essendon by 10 goals in the AFL.
Touch him up. Okay.
Bienvenido.
Round 8 of the Bad Blood first fight. Susie Ramadan and Ploysuay Sakrungruang as they touch gloves for the final round. Susie Q looking to finish things, and Ploysuay looking to end on a high. She's had it all her own way, Susie Q, and Ploysuay still trying to land her money punch, the overhand right, which she hasn't been able to land through the watertight defence and what has been an onslaught from Susie Q, who looks to get in their exchange. She's had a great gallop tonight, Troy.
Oh, it's been tremendous.
Got in some great rounds.
Oh, if you don't mind.
As the sweat comes off Ploysuay now, Susie Ramadan moves forward. The big uppercut right, she seems to be landing at will. But the game tie moves forward. Susie's been able to impose her game plan completely tonight, and that's what it's all about. Hit and not be hit.
Hit and not be hit. And, well, Susie Q's charges. The Brizzy boys will be absolutely delighted.
And Ploysuay hasn't been able to establish herself on the inside, and she hasn't been able to hold Susie off. But she's been game, and she's been patient, and she's been waiting, trying to land her overhand right. But it looks like it will need a Hail Mary punch for her to pull this out here in the 8th round.
Well, she really needs to pull an enormous rabbit out of a hat.
And as Susie Ramadan comes forward, banking up the points, purposeful footwork, slick combinations, and then moving out of harm's way. Great stick and move there by Susie Ramadan. Great footwork, moving around she's the moving target, and she's making Ploysuay come in and then countering her as she comes in, as she lands another left hook to the temple of Ploysuay. But the game tie, she keeps moving forward, and 8 good rounds she's given Susie Q.
The technical smarts of Susie Ramadan have been an absolute pleasure to see tonight. And how far do you think she can go? She's just so impressive tonight.
I think she's a crowd pleaser. I think she's got the great package of skills. It looks like she's developing power, but she's also patient. She's not going to take any silly risks. She's got the upper hand due to her footwork and her accurate punching, and she's not letting Ploysuay at all in tonight. And these rounds are good for her. I'm sure she'd love a stoppage, but having 8 good rounds before her big assault on America is a great thing. Fantastic victory for Susie Q, our continued rising star of Australian boxing.
Make no mistake about it.
And Susie Q Ramadan. Tough boxing, ladies boxing. Beautiful skill, good evasion, beautiful rips and hooks. A very aggressive Susie Q and a very courageous Ploysuay from Bangkok with Mr. Tassanu returning to Australia. Thank you, Chris. Okay, we have a unanimous decision on Paris Productions. Ladies and gentlemen, Dominic, thank you, Dom. Thanks, Dom. Thank you. Okay, judges Ignatius Missilaitis, Peter Flaherty and Diamond Dale Westerman all had identical score totals. 80-71, your winner, red corner, Australia's Susie Q Ramadan. How about a big round of applause for a great warrior from Bangkok, Ploysuay. Showed courage beyond the call of duty.